Marriage is one of the biggest commitments you'll ever make.
Entrepreneurship is one of the hardest journeys you'll ever take.
And when you choose to build a business and raise a family at the same time,
you face challenges most marriages never have to navigate.
We know because we've lived it.
We've experienced seasons of misalignment, financial pressure, and moments where growth tested our connection.
Not because we lacked love, but because building something meaningful together requires conversations most couples aren't prepared for.
Welcome to Entrepremarriage. I'm Myka.
And I'm Mahogany.
This podcast exists to help couples build wealth
without losing the marriage.
Let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? This is a bonus episode for y'all. We're going to be talking about a little bit, people who are in our Facebook community group, definitely join it. We touched on in-laws a little bit. We're going to talk about like in-laws, that's the marriage part. And then the entrepreneur part, like people feeling entitled to your money. And we kind of got that one from the whole thing that's going on with Glorilla right now. So we're going to kind of, discuss on that and go a little deeper than we were. So Mahogany, on the in-law side, I guess kind of fill in what we talked about on the live and then go in on the in-law side.
Yeah, tonight on our live, we talked about in-laws, like Myka said. Mm-hmm. I don't know, in-laws are something else. I know oftentimes the in-laws who have the worst reputation are the mother-in-laws. Mother-in-laws, I was told Myka he didn't know, but there's also a movie called Monster-in-Law, which was about a mother-in-law, and it was with J-Lo. She's in there as the bride, and it's just really interesting how in-laws, mother-in-laws in particular, got this bad rep. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I've had run-ins with my in-law, but just my mother-in-law. She's been like my number one run-in. There was a distant aunt, but I wouldn't really consider that. That was just a little online politics bash out, roll out, drag out. Back when I was radical on social media and I used to get all into everyone's stuff or whatever. But yeah, so that's basically what we were talking about. I know.
Yeah, because we talked about too, because we talked about mother-in-laws. And I said, from my perspective, it always seems to be the mother-in-law. Because I remember you said your grandma had issues with her mother-in-law. Mm-hmm. You have issues with your mother-in-law, my mother. So I'm like, and then on my side, I'm like, I ain't really had many in-law issues like you've had, and I'm like, dang, does it always? And then y'all in the comments, send us an email, entrepremarriage@gmail.com. If y'all feel like, what are y'all in-law issues? Is it usually from the mother or the father? Because it's like, I haven't really had any, so
well, I know there was a little weird one that had taken place when you were working in an office somewhere and my mom was here visiting, and Myka had somehow tapped into the camera to see through the little camera,
tapped in my computer. Yeah,
tapped into his computer to see the webcam, and he's like, "I see you guys," or something weird. And from that moment, my mom was like, "He's spying on me."
Oh yeah.
He's like, trying to catch me slipping. You guys don't trust me with the baby. That's why he's watching me. All this stuff, but yeah. But that was like a little hiccup. I feel like, my mother, rest in peace, Mom, if she still had been living, I'm sure something else would have came up eventually. Because I think mothers, when it comes to their children, I don't know. I know there's some cool dynamics out there, but just knowing who my mom was, she would have found something eventually. But
I don't know. We was married how long? So yeah, I guess so. But okay, from jump, you've had issues. So it's like, it seems like,
I don't like that. I don't like that you've had issues. I feel like she has issues.
But I'm saying yeah. the tension. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've always, but we also talked about on the live is you have to also be prepared. Especially men when it comes to their mothers, you got to be able to put somebody in check. Especially if you marry. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody taking when you get into baby mama and girlfriend issues, that can get a little finicky. But when it's your wife, it's a little different. You got to be able to man up and be like, look, we building this. You're gonna have to either support it or take that back seat role. And I have, like I talked about on live, I've met male friends who struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? They have that real close bond with their mom, which is great. But sometimes it can hinder a marriage. For sure. I'm just glad I ain't dealt with that, dealt with those issues, because I don't know. It seems like, and I've seen some people who commented on our live that said, I've dealt with, the females have dealt with it, but not the male. And I was like, dang, man. So I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, for sure. I know, back in the dating community, number one was I didn't want a mama's boy. I didn't want nobody who was about to be a mama's boy on his mama's titty still. Like, that was not what I wanted. And women, y'all can probably relate. Like, the number one thing is, yeah, you want someone who, like, respects their mom and loves their mom because you want to, you know, him to treat you how he treats his mother. But you don't want no mama's boy. And one of my rules used to be I don't want anyone with sisters. Like, at least not, like, multiple. One, okay. Two, no. He has 2 sisters. And our dynamic worked out despite that, I believe, because they're much older than us. Yeah. They're not like a couple years, grew up with you like that, like, you know, close to you, like, you know, where they're close, just so protective, like in that way to where they're psycho. Yeah. Because sometimes sisters be psycho too. Like, if they're not having an issue, and usually it's the mom and the sister in cahoots, and then you're the outsider, and that's their little brother. Holler at me, like, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. How do y'all feel about that? Because that was something that I would like stuck by.
You ain't never had the sister-in-law thing. The sister-in-law thing ain't never been.
No, my sister-in-law. Shout out to them. Super chill, like super cool. I never had any issues.
Mother-in-law
with them.
thing, but like even your sisters. Like, I've been cool with your sisters, and everything. Like your siblings. Yeah, so I don't know. Like it is a tough dynamic, but I will say this because we also going to go into like how the entrepreneurial side can be affected too, like how people might feel entitled. Like, I don't know if y'all keep up with current events, but one thing that's going on right now that's absolutely hilarious is Glorilla's sister feeling like she's entitled to her sister's money. Before we jump back into the episode, we want to invite you into something a little bit deeper.
If this conversation is resonating with you, it doesn't have to stop here. We continue these discussions daily inside of our private Facebook group.
It's called the Entrepremarriage community, a space where couples talk openly about marriage, money, leadership, and entrepreneurship.
We're all focused on one thing, building the wealth without losing the marriage and doing it intentionally.
It's real conversations, real growth, and real alignment with people who are building just like you.
If you want to keep growing with us beyond the podcast, we'd love to have you there.
The link to the Entrepremarriage community will be in the show notes.
Come tap in with us.
Join the Entrepremarriage Facebook community. Y'all keep up with current events, but one thing that's going on right now that's absolutely hilarious is Glorilla's sister feeling like she's entitled to her sister's money. And I was just like, yo, you wild that you getting on the internet bashing your sister, who probably, and a lot of people will look at you, and this is another thing where you as a married person, you have to like really put checks and balances on in-laws or just people who from the outside looking in who feel like you may have it like that. Like Glo probably just got on like that. She probably still saving her chips and putting things in position. You know, and they'll think you got it like that and feel like they can live off you.
Right.
Like, nah, player, you better. Like, I think she wrote Indeed.com, told her to go to Indeed.com. I was like, for real, because she had an interview talking about she Google her sister's net worth every day. Like, you should be Googling a job application. But those things, though, you have to really be cognizant of your family and make sure they're not trying to live off you. And especially if they know, like, you building something. When some people see that you're building something and you have peace around what you're building, they try to kind of want to come in and like be a part, bring their chaos into your peace. And you kind of have to be like, nah, you got to chill out, you know? And I think that's a lot of what like me and Mahogany has gone through with like, well, with the in-law that we're talking about, my mother, we've gone through that, but you have to be able to stand up and then protect your peace and what you're building. Because I remember, what's her name, our realtor, she always told us, she said, the reason why, because remember when we called Pam the first time, she was on the beach on vacation. And she said, the only reason I took your call and I stayed on the phone was because you and your wife sounded really motivated and I could tell y'all were going someplace. And I was like, dang, I think that really boosted us up. Like, oh, dang, you like see potential in us. But she's seen that. And you know that probably she's not the only one, but she's seen that and was willing to invest that time. And other people may see it, but not really feel like they probably just want to be in on it and not feel like they have to contribute to it, you know, and nurture it, you know, so because it takes a village, you know what I mean? So it's things I would tell people, like, you know, don't let your family just kind of like ruin what you're trying to build, because, you know, if you stop at something that you're trying to build and you know you've been putting the time, effort, sweat, blood, tears in, don't let family ruin that. You know, Glorilla, keep doing your thing.
You know, when it comes to that, though, like, some family members, you know, in-laws or the other, might think you already done made it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like, you see a little tiny, minute snapshot into my life. Yeah, which is usually just through social media, and you think you just know it all. That I just am sitting on money. Like, that's not what's happening here. And especially being real estate investors, you know, it's like, oh, you're investors, you're loaded. Like, honey, these houses are not paid off yet. Like, we will be. We're building that wealth now. But that doesn't mean we got it like that, like, at all. So, you know, anyone in my families who might be watching this, baby, I ain't got it like that yet. And you better come around now, because when I do, I'm going to forget about you if you ain't been here.
No, dude, don't come around now.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Stop. You're right. Stay where you're
don't
at.
come around now.
Stay where you're at. Nah. But but that's the same thing. You know, they don't want to, not the families, but the families, friends, whoever. You know, people in general, they sometimes want to sit by and not contribute, but they want to be there to try to take when you finally get somewhere. So when I say, if you're not there, if you're not sharing our stuff, if you're not popping up, if you're not coming out when it's time to come out, when you can, I'm honest with you. I'm petty like that. I'm like, don't come with the hand out later, because it doesn't work unless I just have it in my heart to give to you. That's just me, though, personally.
Your biggest supporters are always people you don't know.
It's always people you don't know. Exactly. Yeah. That's the point. If your family or friends, or you know, you wouldn't even be friends in that predicament, but if your family who've just kind of like, you know, been on the back burner, or just they're peeking in, talking crap to each other when you guys meet up for family events. Oh yeah, she thinks she got all that, or he think he got it all. Da, da, da. And then but you're not showing up, I stand by that.
Yeah, it ain't even showing up. I mean, people gonna be people, you know, how they seal secret means, what it is. But just make sure that ain't affecting where you're trying to go, you know. And you know, because I always say, like, one thing that my parents did well for themselves, but you know, when they tried to build wealth, they go buy a rental property, go find the first unemployed person they know to put in the rental property, one of their family members. You'd be like, what sense does this make? But
and then when it all goes crumbling, where are they?
Yeah, exactly. So you got to be real stringent. Like, I'm gonna be real. Don't mix business with family. That's why I look at it. Don't mix business and family.
Yeah.
Straight up, it's a business. You know, business. There's times you got to cut people short. There's times that you're going to have tough conversations. And you're trying to have that tough conversation with a family member who been knowing you. Man, Mike, you can't talk to me like that. I've been knowing, you know what I'm saying? It's different with a stranger. You know, a stranger, it's easier to have that come to Jesus moment. Y'all had that conversation, that uncomfortable conversation, you know. But yeah, don't let your family bring you down, you know, especially with something you're trying to build and you got passion behind it. Yeah, that's my 2 cents of how I look at it, because I'm very introverted too. Like, so I don't say I cut people off, but I'm very stringent on who I let in. Like, I don't let everybody in. Like, I'm very pick, choose, you know. Mahogany calls me judgmental.
I used to.
My mom does too. She says I'm judgmental. It's not like I'm not judged. I'm judgmental, but at the same time, it's the funniest thing when we say someone's judgmental. You also tell people, don't hang around a certain crowd. Don't you have to judge that crowd in order to choose if you're going to hang around them? I always say that. You got to have a little bit of judgmental in you. But I'm not judging people to the point of saying I'm better or worse, but I just know what type of crowd I'm going to hang around. You know, so especially when it comes to, like, with marriage, business, you got to hang around a certain crowd of people, you know, people that's trying to better themselves, you know. And like you said, in this podcast and being a lighthouse, hopefully we attract more of those people. And that's what I'm looking to do.
For sure.
We're looking to do.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. So that's our quick little bonus episode about, you know, putting your family in check when things are trying to get out of line. If they feel like they can leech off you, you know, keep doing your thing. Let them know, hey, player, I ain't made it like that. We ain't got it like that yet, you know, and keep doing your thing, man. Don't take your foot off the gas to try to bring some people along that really don't support you. But if there are ones who do support you, you know, definitely, you know, bring them on. Like, always,
especially when they want to do it themselves.
Yes, that's what it is. Support. You know what it is? Support people that support themselves, and support people that can't support themselves. Don't support people that don't want to support themselves. That'd be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's
huge. That was a good quote. You need to put that on a shirt.
Straight up. But all right, y'all, that's our little bonus episode. We're going to have a few more of these coming at y'all. So y'all, thank y'all for listening.
If this conversation resonated with you and you want to go deeper,
Join us inside the Entrepremarriage Inner Circle on Patreon. You'll find the link in the show notes. And while you're here,
make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes.
You can also join our Entrepremarriage Facebook community. The link is in the description to keep the conversation going between episodes.
Thanks for watching.
Until next time,
keep building wealth
without losing the marriage.